Good afternoon. My name is Juan Carlos Mora, and on this video, we're going to talk about the importance of going global. First of all, what is globalization? Globalization is the free movement of goods, services, and people across the world in a seamless and integrated manner. Globalization can be thought of to be the result of the opening up of the global economy and the concomitant increase in trade between nations. Well, now we're going to talk about some concerns of being global. For a person who wants to become global, there are many things that can worry him or her. Some of them are the political situation of some countries, the economic situations, how many job opportunities are, and with what ease you can get things that can be considered basic as a house, a car, etc. Besides, there is concern about how safe and certain country is. In the case of companies, the main concern of employers is how safe or stable the economy of a country is, if there is security, and how high is the level of corruption in that country, among other issues that can influence a company if you want to become global or stay in the same current situation. Usually, companies always look for places with cheaper labor and where there are more natural resources. Now, we're going to talk about the global community and what we can do to be in touch with it. Keeping ourselves updated with current technologies also allows us to be globalized, since everyday technology advances and allow us to keep in touch with other people in a simpler and more effective way. Today, there are many tools to keep in touch with people outside our country, but the main one would be the internet, where through different means we can find out what is happening in another country or even another continent. Likewise, we can communicate something that is happening in our own country. To keep in touch with the global community, there are social networks, blogs, and forums, which allow us to communicate directly with one or more people. Also, video games can be a tool to communicate with people around the world and let us be a part of a global community, share ideas, and talk about different topics related to our respective countries of origin. Now we're going to talk about some values that a global person should have. To try to be global, you must have certain behaviors or values that are related to the country or countries with which we are relating. This applies to a person, a group of people, or a company as such. As I mentioned, all depends on the country or region that is being contemplated. Some of the values that I consider to be the main ones to the global are utility, integrity, diversity, freedom, respect, and last one, professionalism. Now, what kind of attitudes or ideologies go against being global? Having conservative attitudes does not help a person or a company to become global, since these kind of thoughts are very close and usually people who think like that believe that it's not necessary to globalize since they can relate and do business only with people and companies within their countries. Or maybe they just want to do business and meet a certain select group of people in certain countries because they do not consider that some countries are good enough or interesting enough to know them. Now we're going to talk about globalize at personal and professional level. I believe that in order to become more global at a personal level as well as at a professional and business level, it is important to always be aware of the most important news from other countries, as well as to investigate their cultures, beliefs, customs, and ways of working. If it is possible to learn a language and put it into a practice in an internet forum, or by talking directly with someone through a video game or a video call. In the case of a company, always having contacts that can connect us with other entrepreneurs from another country allows the company to be globalized and its business to expand throughout the world. In conclusion, I can say that today it is very important that each of us are globalized. This allows us to meet more people, learn more about the world, and if we have a personal business, we can expand through several countries and be able to do grow our business. For this, it is not necessary to travel long distance, since currently the internet allows us to do all this. Obviously, it is better to go out and know in person the places and people with whom we are going to do business, or we will simply have a relationship of friendship.